Coming to you live from the center of Hollywood, California. What were you thinking? With Aaron and Scott. Real talk behind closed doors. It's not just about stupidity, but everything else that comes with it. High octane, energy driven, in your face. Get ready. It's Aaron and Scott.
And we're here, and Scott has a smile on his face.
Good evening.
Is it evening? No, it's late afternoon.
It's good evening because it sounds better.
It does.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I went to Farmer's Market, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The only nice and fresh and good thing for you in that lousy city.
With no GMO? Yeah.
No GMO.
Right.
And I normally get, greens and stuff like that for the protein drinks.
Sure.
And this time, last couple times I went there, I got some mushrooms. And they're really good. They're anti-cancer and all that wonderful shit, right? So I got a couple, and they were good. This time I go, and the guy says to me, hey, why don't you try some of these? And he sticks his hand in, and he says, it's a variety. Just try them out. Throws them in the bag. I'm like, great. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So I get home that night. I take them. Not take them, but, I eat them. And I'm thinking, oh, they're good. They were all different variety. Well, then my stomach started feeling weird. And then my back muscles seized up. And then I started itching. And I got out of bed, and I went in and looked in the mirror, and I looked like I had third-degree burns all over my body. And I called a friend of mine who's a doctor, and I said, hello, doctor friend. What have I done? And he said, you're having a reaction to the mushrooms. He said, mushrooms, we all know mushrooms they can be really dangerous. Well, these were fucked up. All I did was go down, try and get something healthy to eat, right? And I end up getting, half killed. So I go to the doctor, they put me on prednisone, and I got to take Zyrtec. I looked like an idiot. I didn't get one wink of sleep Sunday night.
Yeah.
Everything, even if a spot didn't itch and you went like this, and then it starts itching everywhere, your earlobes. So I'm on prednisone. And I'm looking normal now, but I couldn't work out because just the blood flow got it going. It's just, the moral of the story is just go to Ralph's Supermarket and buy the GMO products.
Don't go to Farmers.
Well, you want to hear the funny part?
Well, you know what I would do?
Hold on, I'm not done yet. Always you. It's always you. Okay, so here we go. I'm teasing. Relax. Nice clock on the wrist, by the way. Show everybody the clock. Show everybody the clock on your arm. Now show them the clock on the wall. There is no difference. Anyway, so then the next day I'm making a drink.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten the other mushrooms. I'm like, I don't even want to go near them. I see this little globby thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought it was a mushroom. So I take it out, I put it over to the side, and I'm thinking that mushroom slipped into my greens. I'm not even touching it. So I'm doing some. All of a sudden, my mushroom starts climbing up the side of the sink. It was a snail. So I know that they don't spray. That I do know. There's no pesticides.
Did you not even clean these mushrooms when you brought them home?
I did clean them. You know me. I'm a freak.
Yeah,
with
I know
germs.
you are.
I'm like you. We're both germ fanatics.
I would take that bill that you went to the doctors, and I would take it to the farmer's market. I'd give it to that guy and say, here you go, buddy.
Thanks for the mushrooms.
Thanks for the mushrooms. Here's my bill. Pay it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
But
are you better now?
Yeah. I mean, you should have seen me.
Yeah.
I was like a red. Like I look like fucking Flash. That red outfit he
You
wears?
look like the Kool-Aid man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's just best to eat donuts. So go on.
There you go. Well, that's...
So tell me what's going on with you, Aaron.
You know what's interesting? I was driving... What I love about Hollywood, we were talking about this earlier, there's some fascinating people.
Yes.
You don't even have to go to Disneyland. You don't have to go to Universal Studios.
No.
If you want to be entertained, folks, I tell you, just stay in your car and drive around Hollywood.
Or just go to the Starbucks right over here.
Or just
on
go to the
Gower and
Starbucks.
Sunset.
Absolutely.
They're fucking out of their bags.
There's a guy walking down the street,
Yeah.
bald cap.
Yeah.
You know incense that you burn,
Yes,
in your
yes.
house, right?
And at Venice Beach, yeah.
This guy had incense sticking out of his ball cap, probably 10 of them in a circle, and he's walking, and his incense are burning as he's walking. So it looks like his head was on fire, and incense just blowing, just walking down the street, sunset,
What a
as
weirdo.
if carefree in the world,
What a weirdo.
staying in his little environment.
You know what? I don't even know what to say anymore. I do know that I don't like bicyclists still.
Did you have another run-in with him?
No, not really.
No.
Just I noticed that they just tend to.
Slow down traffic.
No, they just take matters into their own hands. It's like
Because
if you want to drive on the road, you need a license like everybody else. If you're going to be out there amongst the cars and the trucks, you need a license. There has to be an age. You can't be fucking 14 on your scooter. That's now.
right.
They got scooters and skate. I told you. Well, you had a guy run into you on a skateboard or a bike.
No, he was on a bike.
Okay, well, I saw somebody hit somebody from behind because he couldn't stop his skateboard. Why? Because he was in the slow lane on the road. So what's next? I mean,
What's horrible is they actually have the right of way on the road, and you have to, you got to get around.
What's wrong with things?
I know.
We don't let 14-year-olds drive cars on the roads.
No.
Why do we let 14-year-olds ride bikes on the roads?
And, yeah.
Does
And
it,
skateboards
there's no,
and
there's no
scooters and
sense.
yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
Anyway.
I
How
know
are you, John?
this is a very touchy subject for you.
Yeah. What's latest? Oh, they found the plane.
They did. Okay.
How they fucking lost it to begin with, I still don't
Where
know.
did they find the plane?
I don't know. It was in the bottom of some water. But I mean, they found the plane.
Okay.
We were talking about that. How we can all be found so easily by our cell phones, but they can't find a 400-ton piece of metal.
So you don't know where.
It was in the Malaysian waters.
Okay.
Malaysian
Was this
Ocean.
today? Yesterday?
No, it wasn't today. You act like you haven't known. You heard something. You're trying to make me tell you the news and sound like a clown. I get it. It's funny. Take our call. We have a caller.
We have a caller.
Right.
Already?
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Scott.
Yes.
Hello, Scott. My name is Inez Clark. I'm coughing on my ventilator. I'm so sorry.
How are you, Inez?
Well, not so well because I could hardly breathe through this contraption. Jeannie, please help me with this. Oh, for heaven's sake. I keep doing this time after time after time. When will you learn? Please help me. I can't do this all by myself. Oh, it's such a bad cough.
What can we do
That
for you?
cough is your fault. You're the one who had to go outside. You had to be outside. It's all your fault.
Ma'am?
Please,
Ma'am?
please help me.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Who is that? Who is that lady?
Who are you speaking with?
The nurse.
Are
Can
you
I speak to her?
are you
Yes, put the nurse on. She's awful rude.
She is.
Yeah, put your nurse on.
Hello, who is this? This the family? I told the family before. Come and get this gal and bring her home for weekends. And please, more pull-ups. Please.
What's your name?
Jeannie Most.
What?
Oh, I have such a bad cold.
Why? Okay, you have a cold. I was
Is this
wondering
Mrs.
why.
Is this the nurse?
Please let me tap the phone. No, give it to me. They want to speak to me.
Ma'am,
What did you want to know?
Are you in a hospital or are you in your house? Where are
No,
you?
this is a home for elderly care.
Oh, okay.
Is this the nurse again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jeannie Most, huh?
Uh-huh.
You must have run with that name in high school.
Well, that's not very nice. What is that supposed to be?
Let's talk to the caller who called in because I'd like to let's speak with her if we could.
She wants to talk. They want to talk to you.
She's a
Hello?
very
Hi there, Mrs. Inez.
Yes, it is.
How are you?
What can we do for you tonight?
I'm good, too.
Why is your nurse there with you and why is she so rude to you?
Yeah, we get a new nurse.
Well, I think she does that because she likes to keep everyone in order and orderly, and the best way to do that is to intimidate them. So she is not very nice to us verbally, and there has been spankings.
Spankings.
Oh, yeah. That's why I try to keep a full eye of her, because if I do, she's not ready to pound my buttocks, if you will.
Well, you can't tolerate that. That's unacceptable.
Are you in California?
No, I don't think so either. Are you, Aaron?
I am.
Oh, Aaron, you're so handsome. I've seen you on the internet, and my Lord, you get my juices flowing.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Well, you don't have to say anything with a body like that. Just show up, my dear.
I don't know what to say, Scott.
Well, you have a fan.
Cat's got my tongue.
There you go.
I'd like to have your tongue, buddy.
So,
I can tell you where I'd like your tongue to go, too, buddy.
So we're so you have a cold. You're in an elderly home, and what can we do for you
And I
tonight?
listen to you all the time. Both of you
Well,
are
thank you.
so well. You're so well read and well spoken, and you sound like very virile, sexually active men. Are you?
where's your nurse right now?
We don't want to talk.
You want to
You want
speak to her
to talk back to the
again?
nurse? What do you want to talk to the nurse?
I'm going to get crazy here.
Okay, Scott's
Sure.
great. Scott's had 3 cups of coffee. Yeah, let's put the nurse on.
Oh, that's dangerous. Scott's had 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah. Where's your nurse?
Oh, my Lord, I'm not sure I have enough energy to handle that.
Okay, can I speak to the nurse?
Surely. Jeannie, they want to speak to you, dear.
All right, you're on, Scott.
Oh,
Hello, Mrs. Most?
no, it's Miss Most.
I'm sorry. So, are you divorced? Is that it?
Well, I was a very young girl, and I was very marriageable, and I had my eye on one boy in the class, and I had my heart set on him, and he used to call me Moist Most because I was so moist. Every time I was around him, I was moist.
Is this facility like for horny women?
No, it's not, but a horrible thing. These patients are normal. Yes, some of them are incontinent, and there is a problem that way. But
And are-
other than that, they're just normal as apple pie.
Are you spanking these patients?
Ma'am, you have to tell us. Are you
Am I what,
are
my
you
dear?
Are you spanking these patients?
Of course not. Oh, my Lord. Inez, did you tell them I was spanking the patient? Oh, I'm going to paddle her one good. How dare you do that? You ruin my reputation. People will get fired. For heaven's sake.
Yeah, man, we don't want to be spanking patients.
Well, you don't have to.
What's for dinner?
If you don't want to spank patients, Aaron, don't do it.
So, Mrs. Most?
I think we have a lot of anger issues here.
I know. Miss Most.
Yeah.
Hello.
Aaron, I have a question. Have you ever been photographed naked?
Oh my God.
Where are we going with this?
Have you? Because your body is out of this world.
We got the horny old one on the phone now.
I mean, my Lord, you have a washboard stomach?
Mrs. This must be the older lady now, right?
This is-
I am so moist right now. I cannot tell you.
Okay.
I'm sliding off my chair.
Scott,
Ma'am?
Somebody bring me a towel. Baby, bring me a towel, gal. Oh, my Lord, I have to stop this up. You are...
John,
good
don't help her
and
with the
a
sound
half.
effects.
You know
We don't
what
want to go
they
into sound
call
effects.
something.
that's just going to make things worse. That's gonna elevate things to a higher level. I don't even want to go there.
Okay, I know.
We gotta move on.
Ma'am? It was
Why are you like that,
I'm feeling
Aaron?
very-
You're always like...
I'm feeling very uncomfortable
get
right
out
now.
of the way. Let's stand us. We're going to the big time. Here's your hat. What's your hurry?
okay, we had a we're hoping everything goes well for you tonight.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that your ass is going to see a paddle soon.
When we hang up with you.
I've been paddled before. She paddles me left and right. And I got to tell you something. It's not a picnic over here because this is why I keep a full diaper all the time.
Well, I
So
was gonna
it
say.
makes her less anxious to paddle me because she's going to get a handful of, never mind, but she's going to get a handful of it.
Are you here in California? Are you in Los Angeles, or where are you?
I am in Los Angeles.
Scott, we need to go over and pay a visit.
We need to come visit you. Aaron will come and he'll stand
You
next.
can send
mean,
Aaron
Nico?
anytime you want.
We're gonna send Aaron.
No, I was going to say
Aaron would
send you to deal with the
totally
nurse. That's what I was going to say. Don't.
I'll deal with the nurse, and you can give Miss Clark a striptease with a full
I would
diaper.
take
Yeah,
one
I'll give her a
look at
sponge
Aaron
bath.
and
There you go.
down.
Excuse me.
I would go down.
Okay.
Thank you.
And on that note, thank you very much for calling.
we're gonna
Have a great night.
Well, you're very welcome, both of you. And listen, you two girls need to stay in college and get an education. You have to compete in a man's world. And I got to tell you something. It's not easy for young women. You have to stay in school and keep your nose to the grindstone.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And do something about your voices. They're way too deep. Men like attractive, flighty women, and you sound very lesbian-ish.
Thank you so much for calling tonight. Give us a buzz.
Thank you for
All right,
calling.
gals.
We'll talk to you later.
We had a lovely time.
Journey.
All right.
Bye bye.
Take care. John, are we off? Yes. All right.
Hello.
I don't know what to go, I don't know what to say. Speechless on that one.
I think we need to just go to the facility. Do they actually have facilities like that, or is it?
No, they really do. You know what?
She sounds like more
I
mental.
I got to say, I actually did volunteer work at a old folks home.
Yeah.
It smelled like piss, urine,
Oh, this is
formaldehyde.
charming,
It was pretty depressing. People were talking to their mops, the brooms. Yeah,
I'm just.
I don't want to get old,
It won't happen.
or I don't want to be in a home. Let's take a break. When we come back, we have a guest who this guy's amazing.
I can't believe
He's a jack of all trades. I thought it was a jack of all trades, but
Ew.
this guy beats me. Scott, this guy beats me. I mean, it's a list. It's like a mile long.
All right. Well, we're going to bring him in here soon.
Yeah.
We're going to get over that last call. I need a moment. I need a moment.
I need to go take a shower and be back.
Do you feel like you've been molested?
I do a little bit.
I feel dirty for you.
Yeah. Do you have any wipes, John? No.
Let's go to commercial.
It's Aaron and Scott. What were you thinking? Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. What if you heard something but did nothing? What if the music you love was gone forever?
Check this out.
A truly intense and tightly wound app, optimized with stunning retina graphics and crystal clear electronic audio. DJ Dubstep Kit. Built specifically for dubstep enthusiasts and DJs everywhere. 5 stars rave DJs around the world. Create your own dubstep music for commercial use today. Visit dubstepkit.com. Mansion Fitness, the only place where you need to train. We've selected only the best fitness trainers to ensure you reach your personal fitness goals quickly and safely. This is the real deal in personal training, not some random trainer giving you a haphazard workout on the fly. We feel strongly about what we do and we wouldn't put our brand on anything less. Visit us at mansionfitness.com and create a new you today. That's mansionfitness.com. No membership required. From the darkness below, an intense and thrilling game by the creators of Appcode Source, bringing the ultimate Gangnam game directly to your devices. Gangnam Speedrunner, now available on your app store. Get ready to run. This app is rated G for Gangnam. Visit GangnamSpeedrunner.com.
Work it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Travis Fox. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Travis Fox.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
I'm strangely perturbed from your last caller. That was
That's an interesting character.
yeah.
You know, we get all
Character's a
we
great
get all
word.
walks of life of callers that call in on the show.
Yeah.
You know, but we welcome everybody.
Genie
Yeah.
Most.
Everybody
Yeah.
everybody has a story.
I don't
Genie
think
Most.
Yeah. That actually dried me up. To be honest with you.
So
Tough act to follow. To be honest with you.
how do you follow that?
I don't know.
It's insane.
I'm not even sure what to do at this
I
moment.
know, I still feel dirty.
Strangely, I do too. For you, I'm a Scott on this one.
Yeah, we both feel a bit dirty for you.
It requires therapy, actually. I think.
This is terrible.
I need a session.
Not from me. Beyond the scope of my practice,
beyond
buddy.
what you do.
Ooh, yeah. This.
Well,
yeah.
Because you know, I'm going over. Now, you are a man of many talents. I will
If
say
you
that.
say so, thank you.
I mean, if I say so.
Well, you know,
So it's doctor. Doctor?
Yeah, it's doctor. Yeah,
Yes.
he is a doctor.
Yes.
yeah.
And
I even play one on TV.
Which,
even played
what,
one?
what were you playing on TV? Doctor.
I used to be on One Life to Live. I played Dr. Travis Fox.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Back when I didn't have gray hair.
When was this?
Let's see. 98.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just a few years ago.
yeah.
In the 90s.
Back when you
One
know,
life to live. How very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. back
But
in the-
doctor of psychology, right?
yeah, PhD in psychology.
Right.
I have a DCH, which is Doctorate of Clinical Hypnotherapy.
Okay.
For obviously hypnotherapy.
Right.
So, but I can't. I mean, my focus really is on subconscious modalities. I mean, I prefer the subconscious mind. It's much more interesting.
Right.
What do you mean by subconscious modalities? Just for people.
That's a real cool way of sounding like a doctor, but you know, it doesn't quite sound as cool as it used to. But it's subconscious modality is a real fancy way of saying let's agree we both have two brains, conscious and subconscious, for simplicity.
Okay.
Okay. So 95% of what all of us do, even in this room, everyone listening, watching the show, is driven from your subconscious mind. It feels like it's from your conscious mind, but it's actually not. So if you want to make behavioral changes, if you want to improve something, get rid of something, change a value structure, belief structure, you have to go to the brain that actually controls that. Standard cognitive psychology generally doesn't do that. You can talk about it a lot, sounds
Right.
really cool, and you can end up doing that for years in some cases.
Right.
Subconscious modalities, which is a kind of a plethora of things. It can be anything from NLP to standard clinical hypnotherapy to
What is NLP?
hell, I don't know. I forgot the name.
Neuro linguistic programming.
Now, did you
I
become
also can throw my voice too, by the way.
No
Yeah,
shit.
check that out. For my next trick, I will. My other talent will be.
now when you were on One Life to Live?
Yeah.
Were you a doctor then? I mean, a real doctor?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, strange story. The casting director saw me in Seattle. Doing
hometown?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Doing what I was doing at the time, performing then, and saw me and said, "Would you come in and read for the role? We're looking for a hypnotherapist. You got the part. Blah blah blah. Can you come read for?" I said, "Sure." They ended up casting me, and I've been in television for a long time. My mother was an actress, so I grew up in it. And then they said, "Hey, we got a brilliant idea." I said, "Yeah, what's that?" They said, "We're going to cast the character as Dr. Wolf." I go, "That's dumb. Why the hell would you do that? My name is Fox. That's like, duh."
Right.
I said, at the time I had a significant fan base, nothing, Brad Pittish, but I had enough that people recognize the name. I said, "Why don't you just cast me myself and get more people to watch the show?" I mean, did you guys actually watch the show?
Right.
Do you PR your own thing here? And I talked to the directors, and the directors went, "That's a good idea." And then I got cast as Dr. Travis Fox, which actually was the dumbest thing I ended up doing. So it backfired because the line sequences that they wanted me to do are not really what we would do.
Right.
So the last thing I ever said when I left the show, last thing I ever said was I was in the middle of a past life regression, and my opposing character got stuck in the past life, and I went, "Well, I'm gonna go eat tacos now. I gotta go. I got another appointment." I walk out, and it was an ensemble shot, and one of the cast members comes up, and of course his line was, "Well, doctor, you can't leave her like that." I'm like, "Well, I have another appointment. Got to go." Boom. And I walked out the door and I went, that's dumber than a box of rocks.
Yeah.
I said that, there's a whole thing like medical malpractice and liability and how about moral ethics. And they went, "Yeah, but we need to advance the story." I went, "Peace. I'm out. Your show, man. Got to go."
did you have a lot to say really, or did you just really have to, I guess, roll with the punches on what they?
When it came to the actual part of the quote unquote medicinal side of what we would say,
Yeah.
they allowed me some influence. But overall, no. I mean, actually, the writers of the show at the time were here in LA, but we film in New York. So
did you feel like, God, these guys are making me feel stupider or look stupider?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I went,
And what were your colleagues thinking?
they had a field day with me.
Like,
They're
Travis,
"Hey."
you
like,
really
"Hey."
don't do that. You're making us look bad.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, like, that was a brilliant move. Thank you very much. Go later. But yeah, so anyway, that's the old running joke is when my former agent had a running line that said, not only is he a doctor, but he plays one on TV. So that became this kind of PR tagline of, "Yeah, I play one on TV." And anyway, long story long, moving on. Yeah, back in the day when I had hair and
Yeah.
was much more attractive and looked like you guys. Apparently, you guys have the bodies that inspire elderly women. I never got that actually, so I've got to work on my hypnotherapy for myself.
They're hot. We're going over there. We're going to see them.
Well, if you like
Like
well,
I said, I'm going to speak to the nurse about her disciplinary
Well-
habits. And Aaron's going to do a
No, we're not- no, I'm not
striptease
doing
for Mrs.
anything.
Inez Clark.
That would be a great show on spanking and what the value of
Yes.
spanking might be in capital punishment. You can have a lot of field day with that one.
I think she's enjoying her spanking.
Probably, yeah.
I wanted to ask, how long were you on One Life to Live?
Very short time, less than 6 months.
Okay.
It was a character that really wasn't even supposed to be that long.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like a one and out, and it stuck, and it kind of worked. And I was in a different storyline, and they ended up switching my storyline, and brought me back on for another one.
Right.
And I think the challenge is more on my side than theirs. For me, I enjoy acting. I've done it a lot. It's great. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But it's I'm very true to the art. I said the art of hypnotherapy and what we do. And there were some things there I just went,
Now
I'm willing to sell my soul to a point.
I got to say, I got to interrupt because
Yeah, go.
you're not just an actor. I mean, we've had guests come on that are, actors, actresses. You have, I'm going to overwhelm you because I was overwhelmed. Scott?
Am I being punked? Is that the
Yeah.
deal?
You want to know
Thanks,
what's
Scott.
okay? So I'm going to go through. I just made a list of things that this guy's done, and we'll go through each one of them. But I'm going to overwhelm you.
Can we have a drum roll?
Yeah, can we have a drum roll?
Can we not? Really? No. Can we have the girls spank me or something? It's far more entertaining.
Oh, those
That'd be a
girls-
drum roll.
Those girls will come over
yeah.
and spank you.
Actually, let's spank Aaron.
No,
It's
but
much more
no.
entertaining.
Here's a guy who's not only been in front of the camera, but he's also been behind the camera. So he's also produced. He's a pro golfer.
Yeah, that's a long time ago too.
I don't care. It's still he's this. I mean,
Actually,
to be a pro golfer or to be at least participate in the PGA is really. I mean, it's big. Doctor of psychology, hypnotherapist, producer, obviously actor. He's won over 7 Telly Awards, 1 Emmy Award for producing the Fab Four.
Yep. Man, I love that show. Great show.
And what else? And I think you're heavily involved in martial arts.
Yeah. 9
Really?
Yeah. But I'm not fighting you. No way. Don't even think about it. Nope. I'll just say
And-
whatever you say. It's like the Hulk fighting the
I mean,
ants
that's
or something.
isn't that a lot?
Well,
I mean, really-
What martial arts?
I-
What martial art?
I'll answer, but I want a clarity point. It's just because it's very. I don't want to mislead
Oh,
anybody.
sure.
When you say PGA, I still coach on the PGA Tour. I never played on the PGA Tour. I never made it all the way. I played on the Golden State Mini Tour, which became the Ben Hogan, and then my father said, "You suck. Go back to school," and that's the true story. So I don't want to mislead anybody. Say it, but I still coach in the PGA Tour to this day, and I'm very active on it. I
Right.
still have my coaching credentials, so I don't want to mislead. But all the other stuff you said was true, except for the part where
Yeah.
And
then I heard somewhere along. 'Cause, I mean, you've done it all.
I don't know about that. but thank you.
Well, no, because
I haven't done the
I
spanking
heard-
of the old lady at
well,
that
I
place.
heard you also like to set dumpsters on fire or something like that.
You mean garbage dumpsters? The big ones?
Yeah, that was on his IMDb on the.
Yeah, it was on IMDb, sure. Yeah. So this is being punks. Okay. Okay.
I had to throw that in there. It's
Yeah.
like this big list
Yeah.
and setting
What
dumpsters
is
on fire.
What is that?
Yeah. Aaron apparently has been, sneaking in back alleys and, doing crack again. That's a story from many, 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 many years ago. Back when I was
kid.
around 20-ish.
Yeah,
A longtime friend of mine who is still a very dear friend of mine today, who is one of our veterans and has served his country well. And we had met, we were good friends, and I just and the true story. I mean, if you really want to back this all the way out, we'll have a 30-second of how we got to
There
all
we
that
go.
thing. Thank you for reading that bio. I appreciate that. But
Of course.
whatever. The real reason to start it was back to golf. My father got me into it at 5 years old, and that was all I ever wanted to be. My mother wanted me to be an actor model. Only reason I ever got into it is because my father wouldn't buy me an Atari when I was 9 years old. My mother said, "Hey, there's an audition available for a runway model." I knew nothing about runway modeling at the time, except for watching my mother do all of this for the last 9 years. And my father said I couldn't buy an Atari, and I said, "Well, that sucks." And I said, "I'm going to go audition for it." And I went and I auditioned against 3 other guys, and I beat them and got the dig for JCPenney was my first gig.
Nice.
I made $200, bought my Atari, and told my dad to pound sand, and my entrepreneurship started, and it never looked back.
Yeah.
And long story long, how you get to the dumpster is coming out of high school. I swore everybody knew I was going to be on the tour. That was my life as a goal. I was captain of the golf team. Blah, blah, blah. And I even kind of made golf look cool at the time,
Yeah.
and it was hard to do that back then. And very difficult. I had little woods, and it was weird. Anyway, long story long, I fell in what I thought was love with a girl the last half of my senior year. Though the cardinal sin, don't do that. Stay focused on your sports.
Yeah.
Long story long, we go into my first year of college, and she ends up getting pregnant, and we had been broken up at the time, and we didn't know if it was mine or somebody else's, and I became a head case, literally became a head case. I went from being a fantastic golfer to couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And So what ended up happening is I said I had a brilliant idea. I told my father, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break from college. I'm going to go play pro golf for a while because I need to play for money. I need to play for something to incentivize myself, which is the dumbest idea I ever had. With the exception that when I got done 6 months later, my father said, you suck. You've made 2 cuts. You're a head case. Go back to school. And it ended up driving me in my path of psychology and hypnotherapy. That's how I got into it. And I got into it with the sole selfish, narcissistic intent to fix me, to get back on tour.
Yeah.
Right.
Only to discover that my real life path had nothing to do with golf per se as a player. It had to do with the offshoot that came of. So that's how you arrive at. Meanwhile, in the middle of all of that, I meet a very lifelong friend of mine who's someone I desperately love. He's a fantastic gentleman. He served our country honorably. He's a great Marine. Came back, but he had to leave at that time, and we were leaving, and this girl that broke my heart at the time just pissed me off.
Right.
And I had made, and kind of like the poster that's behind you, Scott, is about that big. And this was a photograph back in the day because we didn't have all this great printing. So this is a huge photograph that I made for, and I thought it was really cool. And so he and I had this brilliant idea one night. We tied a couple on, and we threw the photo in the dumpster and lit it on fire. Not thinking that there's other stuff in the dumpster because we were all about ourselves at the time, mostly me. And it blew the dumpster up. The fire department gets called. The cops get called. And we're sitting there with beers in our hand going, shit. It was us, yes. And so we had to kind of talk.
You guys
our way
actually
out.
stuck around.
We were enjoying. Oh, are you kidding? We were, I was doing emotional Gestalt therapy. I was throwing all my stuff in the fire, burning it down. It was a very Wyatt Earp of me.
Well, at least it was the fire was contained.
Well, yeah, except for the part where the photograph goes out of the thing, and flies off in the sky, and you've got ambers everywhere, and there's pine trees, and we got lectured, and you could have burned the whole thing down, and I'm like, yeah, well, we weren't thinking about that, dude. We were thinking about burning her ass because she needed to be spanked.
She broke my heart.
She broke my heart and ruined my golf career, and I sock.
That's right. Screw you.
And so obviously you've been digging, and I'll make sure that the old lady spanks you twice for that. So yeah, that's how I got it. But yeah, I spend most of my time behind that camera now. I love producing, love directing, but I've retired. I don't play doctor anymore. I did that. I retired 10 years ago on that. Had a great career.
And you don't do hypnotherapy anymore?
I don't. But strangely, I actually use it a lot in my daily job. I'm a CEO of another company now that's in mobile broadcasting live and has really changed paradigm shifting to take television back to the people on a global scale. And it's taken us 3.5 years to build the system, and we're about 45 days from launching that. So I spend most of my time CEOing now. However, I probably use hypnotherapy more now than I ever did before when I was practicing because of dealing with all the things that you deal with and really learning people, understanding what their values are, what they want, how they want to be part of the network, what we're doing.
Why did you get out of it?
I'd done everything I said I would do. I'd spent a good 16 years in it, and I'd done both the show business side, I'd done the clinical hypnotherapy side, I'd done lecturing, personality profiling, corporate sales, interrogation, yada, yada, yada. And I'd done all I'd said I wanted to do with it. And I always swore to myself in my previous marriage, my ex-wife and I, who had built that company together as kids, we said, you've got to value the stage, you've got to value the people. And if you go on stage and you're not nervous, and you don't have the edge, you're not jacked, you're not excited about it, you need to get off the stage because that's when dangerous things happen and people get hurt and you end up perpetuating stereotypes and you hurt people. And the last year I had done the show, and that individual who gave you that information, who I'll deal with him later. I called him back because he had come back from serving our country and had done an amazing job over there. And he actually ran sound for me for the last year. Wow. And as I walked off the stage, I had realized that amazing audiences, amazing tours, amazing crew. But I'd done 6,500 performances around the world with the show. Yeah. I didn't love it anymore. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And
so it was an end of a chapter, basically.
You needed to change.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I needed to evolve, and my journeys took me around the world from that point on.
It just sounds like you were really good at it, and that's why I was wondering. A lot of times when people are really good at something, why would you change? But you need to.
But it's a great question. But why would I change? First of all,
you want to.
Well, yes, but moreover, change is constant. If you're not growing yourself, the show sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, and all that, it habitually locks the audience into the show, and I thought that was unfair to the audience. I mean, they've seen the show. I mean, I've been touring for years. I've coast to coast. They've seen the show. It was like, okay, guys, I need to grow. Otherwise, I'm going to be locked in this. And I had seen some of my colleagues who were in that industry at the time who are still stuck in it to this day. And I ran into one about a year ago, and I was speaking, and he was actually the opening entertainment for me, and it was an awkward moment. And I saw
What do you
him.
mean the show? You said the show.
Yeah,
A hypnotherapy
Yeah,
show?
one time we used to have one of the largest stage hypnosis touring shows in the country called Hypnomania.
He actually
see, I
broke.
didn't know this.
He
Okay.
broke I think a world record, right?
Yeah, it's been broken 4,000 times ever since then. But yeah, one time we did it in Seattle, your hometown, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
It was unfortunately it was right after 9/11, so it had some not as climactic effects as we wanted it to for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But we had verified. We had the president of the American Board of Hypnotherapy there. We had everybody there. The press was all there, and we had hypnotized 6,000 people at one time and held them under for 30 minutes.
Who's we?
Well, me and my crew, but me
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
I don't want
You.
to sound. Yeah, me. I don't want to sound like it's all about me.
Don't
But
share. This is you're
no,
here. They're
it's-
not
no,
here.
No, yeah, screw them.
He likes to share.
Right,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Well,
It's all right.
It's all
there,
good.
there was always 7 to 9 of us
Okay,
in the tour.
so when you have 6,000 people live in the audience,
Yeah.
right? And then
well, there's
you-
more, but 6,000 went under.
in the audience.
Correct.
What and were they a basic go under, or was there? I mean, usually
Like
you
a
just-
validation.
Yeah, you just. What was the whole reason for the group?
Well, they had come to see the show, and we had augmented the show and said these particular shows on that particular day we're not going to do a standard performance. We're going to go for this record.
Right.
So if you want to be
Yeah.
a part of it, come on down Seattle. And they filled this arena that held 10,000 people. Ended up getting about 8, if I recall. And,
Wow.
And they said if you want to participate, be on this level. If you don't, you want to watch me on that level. Because
How do you know when somebody's actually really under, or if they're not?
They're breathing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if you want to, let's go ethereal for 30 seconds. We're all in hypnosis constantly because we do it to ourselves.
Right.
And I don't mean like, oh well, Travis doesn't do anything. In effect, even now we lock ourselves into habitual habits. Why do I do that? Well, I can't believe I just did that. Well, it was you doing it. It's because of a pattern you created.
Right.
Whether you're aware of it or not is a whole other trick. What we did on stage was take that same brainwave, because all hypnosis is a brainwave. People think it's a place you go to, it's an out-of-body experience, and all this other crap. It's not true.
Right.
It's a brainwave. You do it twice a day, every day, whether I'm in the room or not. That's the great myth buster there, kids. So don't think it's like this and all that.
That's what I was thinking about on TV.
Of
You always
course,
see somebody,
right.
and they come in and they say, "Okay,
Right.
okay," and now you're under, and now, wake her up, wake her up.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Matter of fact, that was one of the things we had with the soap is they wanted me to do this and that. And I said, no one believes that shit.
What was that movie? What was that movie?
Which one? Stir of Echoes had
No,
it?
no, no, no. The one way back in the late '60s, early '70s. Audrey Rose.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Remember
of
that
course.
scene in there with Anthony Hopkins and
Yeah.
her, and she's
The Exorcism
spazzing
of
out?
Audrey Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they remade it and did the same trick. And they did in The Exorcist too, where hey, who am I talking to now? And she
Yes.
reaches up and she bites the guy and so. Okay.
It's not like that.
There are experiences that happen in when you're doing a past life regression or you're dealing with multiple personality that can do that. It's rare.
Okay.
But what we're talking about here, let's talk about stage hypnosis. Stage hypnosis is fun. It's no different than having 2 or 3 drinks per se and allowing your true self to come out. And I don't mean true self that all the deep, dark, dirty secrets, although that can happen.
Right.
It's really not that thing. But people take it way too far and think it's look deep into my eyes and suck your eyeballs out and Svengali effect. And the reason being is because TV had to make it look interesting. Otherwise, it can be relatively boring. It's like, hey, sleep. Well, shit, they're already there. I don't have to do it. Now make them do something that's funny. So Hypnomania, we did our induction live. So it usually took about 3 minutes, and we just knock them all out, bang.
And an induction is
Inducing-
putting them under?
Yeah, inducing you into a relaxed state,
Okay.
a hypnotic state. They always say putting them under. I always say, well, where are they going? Under the blankets? Where the hell? Shit, where are they going? Well, you're down there, So, so at any rate, you put them under and you have fun with it. But the trick was, I always used the show, and maybe I was too utopian in my brain. But it was always a way to introduce people to things like smoking or weight loss or helping the kids get better grades. It was always designed to be a step up. And they answer your question digressively. Why did I let go? Because not enough people were grabbing that concept. They wanted us to stay in the show mode.
Right.
And I ended up having to split my own personality. So I was working with corporations, teaching their sales and rapport tactics, and working with police stations and doing psychological interrogations. And then I'd have to come back on the stage, and I had to kind of dumb it down. And,
wow.
I don't mean dumb it down like stupid, but I had to keep myself in a box. And I'm still I'm a very spiritual guy at heart. I believe that there's
You
kind of-
couldn't do what you wanted to do openly.
Yeah, and it wasn't the audience that was holding me back.
It's
It was
the-
actually the venues.
Yeah.
The venues are like, well, you can't do this and you can't
Yep.
do that and you can't do this and you can't do that. And I finally
Kinda ruins it,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I finally said, guess what I can do? How about I retire and you can go F yourself? I'm
Yeah.
out.
So when
Yeah.
you left and because you also you did another project called Get Psyched.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. That's
Was-
my golf background.
Okay, was that after
Get Psyched, yeah.
the hypnotherapy, or was that before that you did
Concurrently, actually.
Okay.
Because Get Psyched is based on the methodology I developed in the 5-step methodology. And,
Right.
and I don't want to say nothing's new on this planet, people. So
But this was something. I mean, you traveled the world.
I did.
I mean, you literally spoke in front of thousands and thousands of people.
That's true.
In conventions.
Yep.
And
Well, Get Psyched was my homage back to the golf world because that's how I got started.
Right.
And when I was going through, one of my professors came to me when I was writing my dissertation, said, and I said, hey, I want to write my dissertation on the psychological effects of golf on the mental side, from cognitive hypnotherapy, cognitive psychology, NLP, and Ericksonian therapy on the mental side of golf. Go figure, guys. Duh, I'm still trying to fix myself.
Yeah.
And I'm about 40 pages into this dissertation. My professor pulls me aside. And I'm like, oh, man, he's going to tell me I suck. Conclusions are crap. Where are you going with this? And he goes, so far, this is off to a great start. It's one of the best things I've ever read. By the way, I'm a golfer. No kidding. I said, will that help me get through this or what? Look deep into my eyes. It didn't work on him. He knows the same tricks. I was like, damn, he's a Jedi too. Shit. Anyway, long story short, he made me make him a promise. He said, I'll help you get through this. It was 243 pages, this dissertation. It took forever. And I had to write it at night because I was performing and working all day. So I was writing, and he would let me write it at night and catch up. And he said, I'll help you get through it. I'll help you get through it, get your doctorate all done. If when you go to publish this as a book, I want the first signed copy.
Yeah.
Get Psyched fulfilled that promise. So it was almost 12 years later, I fulfilled that promise. And when the book got published, the very first book, I signed it and I sent it.
now
to
you've
him.
done 2 books.
I've done 2. I've actually done 3. The
3
third,
books.
the third. Well, no, I've published 2. The third is in motion, and the third one is about rising up, and that's really my spiritual journey, going back to traveling, and part of what the network's all about.
And what is the premise of that, Rising Up?
Well,
What
let's.
are you trying to incorporate into people?
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not that powerful, but I'm inviting them to do it themselves.
Okay.
Because one of the things that drives me nuts is what's called the us and them model. I have all the power, you don't.
Right.
You have to come to see me. I'm like, shut up. Okay, get over yourself. Okay, there's 3 noble truths, kids. Let's get down to the truth. And I've studied all the major theologies. I've traveled around the world, so with Rinpoches and Hindu. I've sat with them all.
Yeah.
And there's 3 noble truths, and I don't mean to disrespect the Buddhistic friends, but there's not 4. There's 3. It's simple. We're all pink on the inside. Period.
Yeah.
2, everybody generally believes they're going to go to some higher place, regardless of their dogma on the path that they choose to arrive. 3, everybody leaves the planet dead. Get over yourself. Okay? You're going to leave this planet with nothing. You came in with nothing. You get to enjoy the ride, hand it to somebody else, and make your world a better place. And if you're not empowering them to do that and inviting them to do that, you're an ego problem.
Yeah.
You're an ego problem. So for me, the next book is called Rise, and you can see it on Facebook. It's called The Rise with Travis Fox. And then we did a show last year. We're up for 8 Emmy nominations this year on that show, which was more validating
Right.
to me because that show was done. No advertisement. We paid for everything. PBS broadcast the show for us. We put the app out. We paid for everything so we could say the truth. And the truth was real people, real corporations, real charities that were really making the world a better place that mainstream media will never highlight. And we did it. And it was a great, great season. And, for the Academy even to let us have 8 possible nominations is a huge validation of that truth. But moreover, it was about people rising up from here. Let's agree for simplicity that there's 2 parts to you. There's the part of you that knows it's going to go somewhere else. There's got to be something more. You can call it spiritual, God, chi, your center, your soul, whatever language you want to put on it, because we all have a different verbiage, but it's relatively the same.
Sure.
And you have your brain. And I always tell people, if I lop off your head, problem solved.
Yeah.
Whatever the issue is, problem solved, buddy. But so rising up is about the literally rising up. Most people say, God, if you should go with your gut, trust your instincts, listen to this,
Right.
but they don't do it. And I go, well, that's kind of a knucklehead move. So if you already know that innately, and you do, because everyone has that special gift, they're already here. There's a reason you're here.
Absolutely.
I always say, look, you are God. I don't mean the God that created the freaking universe, but I mean you're a part of him or her, however you define him genderly. And it's a simple way to analogize it is. It's like a grain of sand in the beach of God. Each grain means something, and without that grain, you can't form a castle, and you can't do all this. And one grain changes the entire construct. Therefore, you're a creator, you're a creator, you're a creator, you're a creator, I'm a creator. How can we collaborate together, make this dream that we call Earth plane before we go back to wherever we came from, however you want to define that? Whether it's another reincarnation, or it's going to be with Christ in heaven, or if you're going to go with Allah, or if you're going to go to a Shiva, whatever, however you arrive at that knowledge, what stops you from doing it? What stops you from the balls to do that? And that's why I left the show, because the venues would never let me say that. And I went, that's the whole freaking point of the
such
show.
bullshit.
That is the whole point of the show. Was to invite people. You already know this innately, but we don't teach it in school anymore because God forbid we really teach people something.
Right.
Let's keep them stupid. That's a great idea. Wow, where'd you think of that one? So I got on my platform and I would sometimes postulate, which I hate to do and kind of doing now, vote for Travis for president. And I said, we've lost something, and I don't mean that we forgot it per se, but we're too afraid to live it. But there's a conscious movement and a consciousness on a global scale of people finally going, this us and them model crap's got to stop. We got to stop. And so part of what our modality was through what you hear from the backside of the camera with Mindfox Productions, which is now morphed into 3-4 Media, and my partners who I love dearly, who hopefully are listening to the show. If you're not, then oh well. Any rate, was that loud enough? Look deep into my eyes. That's what the whole network is about, and it's been a 10-year journey to build this system so that we were not FCC regulated, so that we are not tied to the cable heads, so that we can give television back to the people and really give them the news, the who, what, where, and when, and not the why, because we don't know why either. So knock it off. Don't sit there and postulate for an hour that you know where that frickin' plane went. You don't know. Otherwise, why have you been broadcasting for 48 hours about all this other crap that doesn't mean squat? There's 7 billion other people on the planet. Hey, here's an idea. Shut up and move on. Because people want to get to something else. And I don't mean because they're bored, but because, damn it, there's something else going on. So as you can tell, I'm very passionate about that. I need to work on that.
Hold on.
Yeah, no,
we have a couple minutes. I really wanted to ask you about
Yes, sir.
the Fab Four.
Yeah.
I want to get into that.
What a
little
great
bit.
show.
Yeah,
What a great show.
And you got
Absolutely.
an Emmy for that.
Yeah, we got 2 Emmy nominations for that, and we won on 1.
Wow.
And and that's
What did you get the Emmy for?
Director of post-production. And I actually
Nice.
produced that show, and then I directed the post-production on it. And the guys are amazing. Ron and all the guys that did that show are just stellar. Our entire crew. It's the same crew that actually was doing the show that you were at last week. But it was weird. It was a dichotomous experience for me because I got nominated for 2 different shows in the same year where I know which one to vote for. I got nominated for Beyond Celtic with Michael Launder, which we had also produced. I had 2 nominations on that one. And then I had 2 for Fab 4. And I was sitting there going, man, either I don't want one to win and not the other, which is how it played out. And I went, oh, wow, crap. Sorry. I guess I didn't do as good a job on that show. Or, I wanted both to obviously win or neither of them to win so that I could just say, okay, well, we got our Emmy nominations. We got validated. The shows were fantastic. And,
Wow.
blessing the Academy gave us one.
You've done so much. You've come so far. You've accomplished
and not even done what I want to do.
Well, and what is that? Where does your love lie now? What is?
My love lies with the network. I really believe that unless you think Elvis is still singing, which maybe he is on another planet, and unless you just think the world is flat, everything's going mobile.
Yeah.
And I had the blessed vision with my partners to see that about 7 years ago, before technology was really in that space, and now it's space there. And we built this network out so that we could broadcast on a different paradigm shift. There's always a paradigm shift of climb to the top, and you get there to be the best. Well, if you ever watch that model, once you get there, guess what happens? You tumble your butt all the way back down.
Yeah.
And just no other way. As opposed to a paradigm shift that says this. And, I have pictures of me at a wonderful place called Tiger's Nest in Bhutan, starting this methodology many years ago, showing the world that start with something at the base that aggregates a grouping of people and let it go ad infinitum, because here it doesn't have a top. It doesn't have this model. It goes as wide and as far as you want it to go because it's collaborative. It requires every grain in the beach of sand in order to make it work.
Right.
So my passion lies there in launching that network, which we're infinitely close to doing, and being able to be free from this advertising model, this political model, and all of this other influences that really take TV and dumb it down, which is to me is the biggest insult on the planet. When you sit back there and you see behind the green curtain and you go, well, we have to have entertainment value that's at the level of a 6th grader. Well, then you wonder why America's number 52 in the world in education, because we're freaking stupid. That's why, because subconsciously we're programming ourselves to be that way. Gee, you don't need to be a PhD to figure that one out, and so it drives me bananas. So I said, well, there's only one way to do. I can sit there and complain about it, or I can get involved. Of course, I had that vision, and my partners did too, and we collaborated and we built it. And my partner's amazing. He's a freaking alien, one of the best coders I've ever met in the world, and built this system so that we can actually broadcast. In our last stress test, we'd able to reach just over 1 billion devices around the globe simultaneously.
Wow.
And in live. I don't mean VOD, because VOD is kind of there, everyone get it, but this is live. So it takes that space, and now launching that network, and then for there, giving producers like myself and like you guys are doing, really quality stuff that people can talk about it and get this FCC crap.
Openly, freely.
Hello,
absolutely.
The dissemination of information.
Yeah,
There's
you can't say that.
No,
you got to follow the lines. You got to read the teleprompters.
Well, and here's my favorite question of the FCC. If any of you are listening out there, by the way, if you're FCC, can you ask me a basic question? How come you can have on a cable head, you've got your basic networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox? Okay, fine. They're regulated by the FCC, but on that same cable head, I can be on the Comedy Channel. I can say dang, and I can say this, and I can say that. Well, how come if it's on the same broadcasting cable network, I have regulations for one and not for the other?
Yeah.
That's dumb as a box of rocks.
Absolutely.
So either you need to change your laws about how you handle cable broadcasts, which would be fine by me, but moreover, maybe you just need to go away. Because the truth is, the more you keep the control of information and you keep people dumb and you won't let them tell the truth, you end up degenerating generations over time, which is why we have TV now saying, oh, we got to keep it at a 6th grade level. And we've got shows that, these reality shows.
God, I hate these fucking shows.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
No,
on
get
that
me started.
shit.
Don't talk about
He knows.
bicyclists, Jim.
No,
Yeah,
seriously.
exactly. Well, I'm with you. 'cause
I don't-
there's nothing there's no reality
Honestly,
about it.
like
Yeah.
I was saying before, I watch PBS. I love their
PBS
shows.
is awesome.
Yes.
I watch old show stations like movies, old movies, not the new ones that really they just if it's not action
CGI,
packed,
right.
it's like it's not a movie anymore. It's like I can't stand the fucking reality show.
And here's the problem.
I don't want to watch guys shoot ducks and fat beards and I don't want to watch hairy girls getting waxed and going to Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and if you watch I'm with you, and I appreciate you saying that because a lot of the shows that you see coming out now, they're making the shows about a younger generation. Like you've got these cheerleading contests and these dance contests. Well, it's these young kids now that are 10, 11, 12, 13.
Right.
What are you telling these kids?
Absolutely.
And I know that sounds kind of like, what are you telling these kids? But let's cut the crap. What are you telling these kids?
Honestly, I think there was one reality show that I really got a kick out of, and it was one of the beginning ones. It was Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the Osbournes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That was fucking hysterical because he was he.
was,
I think
he
at
was
that point-
himself.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
funny.
That was
but then
real.
they took it from there and they had to ruin it. Now
right.
everything. I want to go back to the days where we could watch The Rookies, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Day. I want scripted stuff. By the way, this reality TV, it's all scripted too. It's just lousy.
There's nothing real about it.
No. And
Nothing real about it.
people seem to think it's unscripted. It's the real thing. No, it's not.
And you're bringing realism and just in actuality, basically, the way things are, not to be told this is the way it needs to be, or
Yeah, one of our mandates in our particular thing is
Yeah.
we'll give you the who, the what, the where, and the when, but we won't give you the why. But we don't know why either. And
Right.
we're also going to do it in a shorter bit. If we can't tell a story within 1 minute, we're not going to tell you because we don't know. We'll just give you the facts. I mean, that's the bottom line. There's a big world out there, and constantly things are moving and changing. But
It's
also
flat,
too,
by the way.
Yeah,
You
it-
said something earlier.
It is. Well,
Just-
Columbus is a jerk.
and Elvis is in Reseda. So just to
Is he
cover
next
that.
on the show after me? Because I can make him Elvis if he wants to.
He's
Like,
in
I'm-
Reseda right now.
Oh,
I
is
just
he?
saw him. I saw him at Denny's. Yeah.
Dr. Travis Fox, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
thank
you
you so
so
much.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
coming.
Thanks for listening. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Yes, this is awesome.
I think definitely you need to come back.
Oh, wow. My pleasure.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And man, I'm just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Aaron's tongue-tied because he's thinking
I'm-
about what he's going to do with that older woman at the restaurant.
Well, I better untie that tongue according
You
to
better.
her. According
She's
to
got-
her, yeah.
she's got plans for that
I'm
tongue.
sure she does have plans.
Need a little hypnosis for that.
You know you want to.
Haven't you seen Kingpin?
Oh,
You know you want to, you sick little creep. You're going to go over there with your big watch and your fancy shirt, and you're going to go, give me Miss Clark, and I want to sit
you know
on
what?
my
I
face.
just might be a good Samaritan and give her a sponge bath. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Ooh, and you're going to know what you're going to hear? Yeah. Who's your mama? Who's your mama?
Who's your grandma?
Who's your grandma?
great granny?
Who's your granny?
Oh, yeah,
Who's
she's
your
terrible.
All right. That's enough.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Oh,
Travis.
thanks, guys. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Until
everybody.
next week. Thank you very much.
Have a good
see you
night,
next week.
everybody. Bye.